Alright, the stream begins, my friends. Here we go. Looks like we got a few people in YouTube already. We got Dr. Doom Apple. And we got Disco Frog. So, it looks like we're having some problems with the stream. Okay, I think it's working now, maybe? Let me know if the stream gets funky. There were some issues with the upload. My Dropbox was trying to upload a bunch of stuff at the same time, so it was messing it all up. But it looks like we're good now. I got my music playing here. We are listening to Celerect LA Dreams. It's one of my favorite synthwave artists. Feedback loop. Okay, hold on. Yeah, okay, do you have feedback now? Let me know. I think there was a stream running in the background, I think. Do you have any echo now? Do you hear echo? Shouldn't be. Still have it, huh? Yeah, I have it running on YouTube. Okay, well, yeah, it might just be you, Wolves, because it looks like everybody else is saying it's good. So, you might want to check your settings. I was actually a little worried about the echo because I have speakers set up instead of just using my my little Alexa speaker. So, but anyway. So what are we doing today? First things first, we selected the, I pulled the winner for the giveaway, so the giveaway has been chosen. Should be hearing from them, or they should be getting the package sometime soon, which is good. But the biggest news that I have, I guess, for today, so the winner, it lives actually in San Francisco. Apparently a scientist of some kind or something, because I looked up their email address to see if they were legit entry, and they showed up as a scientist, which was kind of cool. Anyway, so one of the big things that I want to go over, or want to show today, is let's look at the results of our silicone casting that we did the other day. or sort of half of it the other day. So this is what we got. So I went and did the second half last night because I wanted to have to be able to show you what it looks like. Okay, so this is our both halves. This is the two halves of it. So this is the bottom half. I pulled the keycaps already, and then I went ahead and did the second casting of it to get this. The stems came in perfectly. And guys, this silicone is so much better than that Umu. It's much, much stronger. It definitely has a better... It's definitely more firm, which is great. That's going to be awesome for when I go to put the larger molds in the into it. So Amelia was asking, is there a way to YouTube be full screen but have the chat like Twitch? Honestly, I don't know. That's a really good question. I've never really tried it. Usually you can pop out chat, but I don't think YouTube has a like. Mange says there is one. Okay, let me know how. I don't watch a lot of live streams on YouTube. So besides Pete's, so I've never actually done it. Anyway, so yeah, this is the 2-part mold that I did here. So what we're gonna do today is we're gonna make another 2-part mold, and because we already seen this half of the mold, we've done this before. This was we made this on stream a couple of days ago or last week. So these are the 4 keycaps, or 4 of the keycaps we made on stream. And then what we're gonna do is I'm gonna show you how to make the second half of it. So if you're new to the stream, you can look back in my videos and you can see what I've done. And you'll see all the different stuff that I did with that in order to make the first half of it. So that's just the bottom half, I guess you would say. Because what you end up doing here, I'll just go over it real quick. So what you do is you have the keycaps. Like I put them on this little plastic or piece of cardboard that's covered in tape, and you kind of glue them to that, and they're kind of upside down like this, and then you pour the silicone over the top of it, and then you wait until it cures, you pull it out, then you set it upside down like this, and then what we're going to do is we're going to put in some stuff for sprues, and sprues are when you pull keycaps out, it's where the excess resin goes to, and then it pulls from that as well. So anyway, we're going to do that. I'm going to show you how to do that today, how to do the other half, but I wanted to show you what the results will look like. And we're going to crack open this one. This is the big guy. I went ahead and did the second half of that as well. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. Let's see what this turned out like. So I am very curious to see what our hard work turned out, because this is the one that's going to allow me to mass produce keycaps, so I'm really excited about the results of this one. Emilio says, what a unit. Yes. Total unit. So I guess that's a meme. My friend was saying that the other day. There's some weird meme about, look at this boy, total unit or something like that. I think it's funny. But all right, got to get in there with this X-Acto knife, cut some of this tape off. I think it might be time to replace this X-Acto knife. I think its blade's getting dull. All right. Here's one side. So one thing about silicone, and we'll see this when we start doing the second thing, is that silicone will immediately stick to other silicone, so you have to cover it in a like a stick resistance kind of like oil. But I don't put that on the sides as much, so a lot of times that silicone will just stick to the sides like we're seeing here. There it is. So what you're seeing, these little white things on top, these are Q-tips that I cut in half, and then you glue those to the bottoms of the keycaps, and that's what we're going to end up doing. We're going to do that here. We're going to glue them in the corners like that, and then when you pour the silicone over it, it gives the silicone, it makes sprue holes. Then you have your sprues. Okay, so next thing, let's use a sharper X-Acto knife. So this is usually what I do because the sides do get like a little bit covered. So we're just gonna cut the corners off just a little bit, trim that excess off. Because what happens is when you're doing it like a box, like what I do, when you pour that second bit of silicone, the silicone will often drizzle down into the corners and it sticks to the sides of it, and then you can't peel your mold open. So if you cut the edges off, then it opens up a little bit easier. And there's ways to prevent that, but it's okay. I'm not that worried about it. All right, so here we go. Moment of truth. Moment of truth, guys. Moment of truth. Peel it open. Now, it might be a little hard to open because, like I said, the silicone will immediately stick to itself. But you can see it just kind of pries open if you do it right. We're just going to go slowly around the edges. Now, one of the bummers about using silicone is that we unfortunately will not be able to cast anything this time around because the material that the silicone, like the material that chemical that they put in silicone to make it liquid, kind of remains in the mold or in the silicone for like about 2 to 3 days after you unmold it. So what that means is that, ooh, yeah, that's looking good. So what that means is that if you try to cast resin, that chemical is the same stuff they use in resin. So basically what ends up happening is that the resin keycaps will not cure properly. Oh, these turned out glorious. That turned out fantastic. Oh yeah, nice. Lots of detail. Perfectly captured all the detail. And then the silicone's really strong, so it I mean, you can see it pulled some of them out of that, but it did not really let go of most of the keycaps. So that's good. That means that it retains its strength. Pull those out. And these are all perfectly registered. Excellent. Yeah, these are looking great. Awesome. Yeah, and these just come off. Okay. So you can see we got, those are the Q-tips that got glued to the bottom of these, right? And those are the sprues. So now we'll just go in with a pair of pliers and we'll just gently pull all those sprues out. And usually what I do is just kind of grip, little twist, pull. That's really all you need to do. And they just come right out. And then I'll show you how to make these sprues here, because we're going to do another one of the castings. We're going to do that one just over here. And I'll show you how I glue them on, what I use. But these turned out fantastic. I'm really pleased with the results on these. I'm a little concerned about how shallow this one side is. And the only reason why I'm concerned is because the sprues aren't going to be very long in there. So when you put the what's going on here? What are you guys chatting about? Would you compare resin caps to ABS or PBT, or is it another ballpark? Yeah, it's so POM is another material. It's extremely hard. Resin depends on the resin you have, but resin is pretty hard. It's also very light. And really, in general, I would say that PBT is the best. ABS has better color. From my experience, ABS has way better colors. And resin is it's completely different. It's not really. It performs differently. It's much harder, so it cracks easily. That's like one of the problems with it. This one just won't let go. All right. Let's pull them right out. Yeah, so the texture on these keycaps definitely got registered. And I can show you what that looks like as soon as I get all these sprues out. So the silicone is very, very sensitive to all shapes and textures. So any texture that was on the keycap when it got cast will be cast with the keycap as well. So if you have a plastic, if you cast one that's very shiny, then all of the casts from that one also turn out shiny. And I have a good example of that on this one. Yeah, and I probably won't be able to get the camera to focus on it. We'll try though. Okay, so you can kind of see on this one here, you can see it's a little bit dull looking. Now look at the one right next to it. Look at how shiny the one next to it is. So this keycap had a dull texture. This keycap has a shiny texture. And so this one here is going to turn out with a much more shiny looking keycaps. But either way, I mean, this turned out great. Most of these ones that I cast in here are not very shiny, so they're not going to have that same high quality texture that this other one did. So, but that's okay. That's why I also bought polishing compound. So this is for polishing cars, but you can actually use it on keycaps, and we might actually do that today on stream. So that is why shiny OG cherry keycaps is the best for it. Yeah, mange. You and your shiny OG keycaps. Don't mind me, I'm just listening to my computer. It's doing a little bit more than it usually does, so I'm just making sure that it's not overheating and stuff. Yeah, it's a good profile, and cherry keycaps can get shine on them because of the ABS. So they get shiny, smooth. Okay. Okay, so now after about 2 days or so, so maybe next week or middle of next week or end of next week, I will cast resin in these. Not going to do it today because of that chemical that's in the resin or in the silicone that's going to prevent them from turning out a good product. So we got to let them sit and do their thing. But overall, I think these turned out really good. There is one problem with this one side though, so I'm just gonna do a little bit of fixing on that. I noticed this when I was casting it, so I just want to take care of it before it becomes a problem. Okay, I think that should help. Yeah. That should work very well. One of the other things I do is I like to go around... Hey, Tofu Mom. Oh, hi, Mark. All right, so another thing I like to do is when you pour the silicone, it will stick to the sides, so it gets this little lip that kind of goes all the way around. You can kind of see it here, and that raises it up off the table. And so when you press down, it kind of has some weird give to it. So I like to cut that off, and I do it on the edges just like I did on the before. I just cut just a little bit to get rid of that lip, so that it doesn't bounce so much, so you get a more stable mold. Yes, meniscus, exactly. I wasn't going to use the term because I didn't know who would understand it, but yes, it is called a meniscus. And it's from the surface tension of the silicone gripping the edges of what it's attached to, or what's being poured into. So, but yes. Meniscus used to be one of my favorite words. All right, there we go. Much better, much more stable. Cool. So there's that one. So now, let's show you how to do it on the other half. Oh, Mange, you're saying you built your clip. Your clip. Yeah, I actually want to build another keyboard really badly, actually. But I just don't have any keyboards to build. I don't have any PCBs, nothing. Waiting on a few more pieces. You know, it would be really cool if it were possible. It'd be really cool if I could somehow convince Pete to, like, let me build boards that he can sell on his website. That would be cool. Because then I'd be able to build boards whenever I want. Okay, so when we do the second half, what I like to do is I'll get a couple of these. Now it takes 2 Q-tips per keycap. So we can reuse. We're not going to reuse them. We'll just start new ones. So we have 4 keycaps. We're going to need 8 Q-tips. And the reason why I use Q-tips is because the diameter of the Q-tip shaft here is just about right for the the injection thing that I use. So, okay, now step 1, safety glasses, safety first. And my cat is driving me nuts. Loki. Gosh, boy is crazy. Anyway, so safety first. Oh, actually, there's some dirt on this. Clean that off real quick. Okay, that's a little better. Yeah. Oh well, it's as good as it's gonna get. Wait, what did it? This would say hope Atari doesn't read that. Well, as long as you don't say anything offensive on my channel, we're good, man. Yeah, it looks like... I'm turning up the fans on my CPU. Because the stream is getting it very warm in there. I need to get a better cooling solution for that CPU. It really needs it. But anyway, let's do some stuff here. It's because the way the computer is built, it's in an ITX case, and so the power supply covers the CPU fan by just a little bit, and so I just think it's going to have a hard time breathing. Yeah, AIO cooler. So it's an mini ITX case, so there's no room for that. So what I got to do is I have to either get a different power supply, or the case does support liquid cooling. So I might go with liquid cooling. We'll see. Anyway, yeah, I'd have, if it's an ITX case, mange, I have to use custom loop. There's no other way. So we'll see. Yeah, if maybe I'll take pictures so I can show you what the inside of the computer case looks like, because a lot of the air coolers and stuff that you're talking about just aren't going to work. It's a mini ITX, so it's literally, it's like just a little bit bigger than this, and like about this tall. It's very, very tiny. So it can't really use a lot of the aftermarket coolers. Okay, so we're gonna put the we're gonna clip these off, and we're gonna super glue them to this. Then we'll mix up a batch of the silicone, and then we'll pour that in there and we'll put it inside the casting pot. Like I said, I don't have a lot to do today on the stream, just like very little, but I figured might as well, right? So what I do is I clip off these ends, and then you cut it in half, and that's it. That's how you make the stems to make your sprues. I mean, I think the fan that actually comes on that processor is going to be fine. It's just that I either need to get a different PSU that fits a little better, because the case will accept a full-size PSU, and I kind of need for it to be a full-size PSU. Apparently Silverstone, company Silverstone, makes a slim PSU, very, very small PSU that fits in a standard ATX PSU slot. and a couple people were recommending I get one of those, but I have not found it anywhere yet. So yeah, I was using this same case and everything the last stream, and it didn't seem to get this hot, so I don't know what's going on with it. But it's definitely going a little bit warmer than it usually does. Yeah, so Mange, I just got that notice from you, that message from you. So yeah, I would have to get an AM4 mounting kit for it. But haven't made the jump to small form factor. My graphics card might have to... Yeah, the one that I have, I had to get a very small graphics card for it. It's... you can only use, I think, like a 6.5-inch card in it. But I don't play games in this machine. This is only for streaming, so... And if I did play games on it, they would be very low-intensity games, so... I've thought about doing like half art, half Keeb, half gaming kind of streams where I can stop doing what I'm doing for a minute and then play a round or two of some game and then get back into the Keeb stream. We'll see. So this part of doing the molding is really tedious because you have to position it just right and make sure it doesn't fall over and whatever. Okay, so got the Q-tips. They're all cut and ready to go. Now this is the glue that I use. I just use this Gorilla Glue. And the reason why I use the gel is because it's fast and it doesn't make a huge mess. It's not super liquid. But you gotta shake it first. Yeah, the reason why I went with the micro ATX case was because it needed to fit under my desk, right? That I just built. And I built the desk with the dimensions that understands like where it's all gonna go. So I think I might be able to show you what my case looks like here. So don't mind the shakiness of the camera here while I thread it back around a bunch of stuff, but... Oh, is this gonna work? Nope, it's not gonna work. Oh well. Never mind. Sorry for the headaches. Anyway, it's very, very small. Yeah, I can't even, it's like 10 inches by 11 inches or something like that, by 12 inches wide. It's very, very, it's almost a cube. But yeah, it's tiny little guy. So it gets really warm very easily. Which is why I have its fans absolutely cranked. It seems to be doing all right. The temperature's only, looks like 122 Fahrenheit. So not bad. Fan's loud though. Okay, so shake the glue. Is my name Atari Zero on there? What are you talking about, Emilio? On the case? Oh, you're talking about my name on Discord. Yeah, I'm on there, Atari Zero. Cool, all right. So then what I do with this, you just take this little applicator You don't need very much glue at all, actually. Just like the tiniest bit. Just enough to like get some of the glue on the stick. I mean, like almost nothing. Because you don't want it to make a mess. And then you just press it down in the corner of the keycap. You don't want to press too hard, but you want to put some pressure. Just a little bit to make that contact. And if you did it right, which it looks like I didn't here, hold on. It should just stick by itself. Yeah, that one's not good. Oh. It's kind of holding on. The problem is sometimes the silicone will like get in the way, and then the glue doesn't stick to silicone, so it just doesn't work. There, okay. Yeah, and there's a bunch of silicone on these keycaps. Clean that off before we move any further. I'm just getting the excess silicone off the edges of these caps so that it doesn't impede the Okay, there we go. Yeah, for like normal practice, I mean, obviously it makes sense to use, you know, good fans and a good case and all that. And not that mine isn't good, it's just that it's very small. The design, it's an ITX case, right? A mini ITX case. So it's literally designed for travel. You know, you're supposed to be able to just take it wherever. So. My machine upstairs is an absolute beast. I love my computer upstairs. It's a very good machine. If it weren't for the fact that hanging out my garage is not very fun, I would have it down here and use that as my streaming machine. And you know, play games and everything down here, but it's not comfortable down here. It is very cold in the winter. But yeah, so this is what we're doing. Super exciting. I'm thinking about doing another giveaway, guys, probably in about 2 to 3 weeks from now. I just have to gather the stuff that I want to do for the giveaway. I don't want to do like giveaways all the time. Just occasionally. But I think this giveaway is going to be for keycaps. Oh, powder board of the giveaway. The winner was announced. Well, I mean, I don't announce it. I don't tell people who won it. But yeah, I already announced it. Yes, exactly, Mange. I don't tell who it is. Because that would be extremely poor choice. The jade caps, yeah. Just give me 1 second. I polished one of them today, Disco Frog, because it had some smudges on it, so I went and got some polishing compound. I polished it up so it looks a little nicer. We got Tifrem34 on Twitter, on Twitch. How's it going, man? Show the blue space bar. But yeah, these are the jade keycaps. And for some reason, this camera just does not do green any justice. I mean, this green is like, I mean, I can't really even describe the color of it. It's really nice. They're very nice keycaps, actually. So yeah, I polished this one. This one had some weird smudges on it, and so I went and polished it with some polishing compound. Turned out pretty good. I might continue polishing them up. This one has a scratch on it, which is very unfortunate. But yeah, so there we go. Yeah, I wish that the camera would give a better color. They're just like, they're like a really nice vibrant green, but these cameras just wreck that color. I don't know why. I only have one that has the scoop on it. Yeah. So it's like a powder border. It's kind of like a lime green that's the lighter green, and then like a like kind of a darker emerald green that's the darker green. It's really nice. Turned out great. Yeah, so Disco Frog, I'll be sending those to you probably in a week. I want to sand them down and polish them up a bit, and then I'll send it your way. I got the box for them and everything. I have to take them. I have to take them to the post office because it's international mail. I can't just do it from my office like I usually do. Yeah, Emilio, I do. I post pictures all the time in Discord. So for the folks who are joining from Twitch, what we're doing today is we're just making a mold for custom keycaps, which is what I was just showing off there. Those keycaps are being given away to one of my regulars because he's always on channel. He's always awesome. The blue cap. Which one? Which blue cap? I want to know. Is it on my desk or did you see it somewhere else? I made quite a few blue ones. I'll show them in just a second. I'll pull them all out and put them up on the camera here. I'm gonna finish up this keycap and then I'll put them up there. Yeah, remember, just when you're doing this, if you use that like Gorilla Glue gel or like any kind of super glue gel, because you want it to be sticky, not runny, and you don't need much, just a tiniest little dab. I mean, it shouldn't even look like a drop. It should look like it just barely got the stick wet with glue. Because you don't want, if you get excess glue, it gets all over the keycap and then it shows up on the actual keycap when you do your casting. And it looks funky. Mange, you want to see that space bar, huh? Alright. Your wish is my command. Here it is. Camera is freaking out about this blue. It's having a hard time. There we go. Yeah. So there they are. There is a problem with this one, though. This one actually has an issue with one of the side walls right along here. It didn't cast correctly, and I think that it might have been warped a bit, so it's kind of has a weird shape to it. This other one turned out okay, though. This one turned out this is the better of the two. So I know everybody wants Topra, but I don't have any Topra keycaps. I don't have any Topra boards. I don't have any of that stuff. Kind of makes it hard to do if you don't have the material to start with. I'm going to show you some of the other ones that came out of that same mold. And that's the mold that I'm retiring because they're molds that I'm retiring because they're all terrible now. But this is like kind of the ones that I have that I've already made. Quite a selection. Oh, and there they go, all over the place. But yeah, some interesting looking ones. Here, I'll see if I can... I gotta do something like this to keep the camera from focusing on the wrong stuff. But there's one that's like, one of these blue ones that's completely clear. And I don't know what happened to it. It disappeared. But anyway, got a lot of different ones. Purple. There's another nice, really nice blue one. This one turned out fantastic. These really nice red ones. I don't know where that other blue one went. Let me see. I might have put it in another container. For some reason my playlist stopped playing. Okay. But yeah, those are some of my keycaps that I've got going on here. Oh, I know where I put them. They're part of the giveaway. That's where they went. I'll get cherry keycaps eventually. But yeah. This is the stuff that's in the giveaway. The plank keyboard, some stickers, LEDs in there, green LEDs to match the keyboard color. Thought I put them on there, but maybe I didn't. Anyway, there's one that's like this super clear keycap, and it's very interesting looking. It's like now I'm determined to find it. Well, it could be anywhere at this point. I do have like a couple cherry keycaps, Mange. This is a cherry keycap. So I have this one. Oh well. Anyway, that's just one. I wasn't totally pleased with it anyway, so it's lost, but it's not the end of the world. Yeah, top row. Was it row 1? Well, the thing is, Mange, if I mold that one, it's gonna It's going to mold it with this hammer and sickle too, because that's not a pad printed legend, that is a double shot. And this silicone will grab all those details. My cat is scratching at the door again. Thinks is going on in here, but it's nothing exciting. At least not exciting for a cat. But he just wants in. Man, it's funny because it is starting to bug me that I don't know where that keycap went. Oh well. The color on it was weird. It was just very, very clear. So. Yeah, so that was the that keycap was one of the artisans, or not artisans, but novelties that came with GMK Yuri, which I had and didn't use. Sold immediately. We're getting there, and then we'll make a real quick we'll make a quick batch of silicone and get that set up. And I keep thinking I'm hearing my fans go crazy, and then I realize it's actually my neighbor vacuuming. Yeah, actually, I sold that carbon set. After playing on it or whatever, like kind of typing on it for part of a day, I just realized I really didn't like carbon. So I sold it. And what are you saying there, Mange? Ustanovit kommunizm. I don't know what the first word means. I actually studied Russian for like 2 years when I was in college. I love the Russian language. Говорю по-русски очень плохо. Очень плохо. Oh, establish communism? Well, I mean, my keycaps are for the people, right? I'm giving a bunch of them away. I will be selling some. Mange, you hear that? I will be selling some. So I'm gonna be posting a website, I think, pretty soon, with my, like, secondary keycaps, like keycaps I'm not really all that excited about, that I feel like maybe have too many mistakes or whatever. So I'll be posting that website here pretty soon. I just have to get it all set up because I'm gotta figure out how to do the sales stuff correct or whatever. But probably just gonna do it PayPal, sell through that or whatever. Wolves wants 50 Jade DSA keycaps with 2 homing scoops. Well, maybe someday. I don't know when I'll be able to get those in production. I have DSA. I've got tons of DSA caps, but my problem is that DSA is very thin, and so it's really hard to get good coloring and stuff on it. Tofu Mom asking if I'm going to be using Squarespace. I don't know yet. I was looking into WordPress just because a couple friends of mine have WordPress sites or whatever, and I can use the templates and stuff to make them. But yeah, I haven't looked into it too much. Yeah, Wolves, so filling them up with resin, you can only fill them so far, and they're so shallow that there's very little to fill them with. There's very little room for you to put any resin in them. So that's why I kind of shy away from doing DSA. I like DSA. I think it's a great profile. But yeah, it's just kind of, I don't really know what I can really do to get it to accept what I'm going to be end up wanting to do with it. Okay, so we've got all of these sprues now glued onto the spaces where they're going to go. So now our next thing that we need to do is, I'm going to get this camera a little bit better towards, a little bit closer towards our working area here. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I could program the website myself, and yes, I would get more control over it, but I don't know. That's more work than it's worth to me, to be honest. Much rather let someone else do it. There's plenty of examples out there. Plenty of ways to do it that I don't have to do any work. Okay, so now we're just going to close up the box. We're going to make ourselves some stuff. Some silicone, and then we're going to pour that, and then we will be done with this portion of it. Just making sure that all these are solid, and they are. Okay, so one other thing that I wanted to show you guys before we start getting too far into this is when you're making these keycaps, when we pour the silicone, one of the things that's going to happen is the silicone is going to have a hard time getting into that little stem spot. See where that cross is there? The silicone is going to have a hard time getting in there. There's going to be air stuck in there, and that's a constant problem with these. So what I do, or what I did, is I made a special tool that you can use. So what I did is I got a very sturdy popsicle stick, and I whittled it down. You can see I cut a bunch of the wood off there and made it like a nice thin, like kind of little blade, and it goes right into that space. And so when we start pouring the silicone, we're going to use this. We're going to go through the silicone into the space, and we're going to push the air out using this tool. It works very, very well. Yeah, the problem is, Emilio, is it focuses itself, and so it's kind of a pain in the butt to try to get it to focus. It doesn't really do it very well manually, so I just, whatever. Just leave it as it is, I guess. Okay. Now, yeah, powder border, I'm not going to use PHP. No way. Sorry. PHP is freaking ancient. Like, super ancient. And, I mean, yeah, it's free and whatever, and you got server implementations and such, but all that kind of stuff, I mean, I do that for work. I mean, I do it for work. I don't want to do it at home. It just ended up feeling like work to me. And I don't feel like I'm really going to turn it into a store, you know? I'm not gonna turn. I'm just gonna end up selling these like on a different way, I guess. Okay. So let's get this taped up. Oh, there we go. So I'm just gonna use masking tape for this because it's very easy to use and it's easy to tear off. So we just want to close up these gaps as best we can. Okay. Yeah, when it comes to me for making my website, whatever's the easiest is going to end up winning. Because I don't want to put a bunch of extra work into it. Like messing with JavaScript and getting it to do what you want, all of that is just, I get so tired of dealing with it at work that I don't want to do it as like my second project as well. So I'll just do a template. Do a template and call it good. It's not like this is going to be a multi-million-dollar business, me selling my keycaps. Or at least I don't think it is. If it ends up being a multi-million-dollar business, well, I'd be happy, but I don't foresee that being the case. Yeah, Mange, if you want to make a site for me, I mean, I'm not going to say no. I don't mind having free things. Okay, so we've got this sealed up now. It's taped around the sides. Now we will mix our silicone. Before we do that, I need to drink some coffee. Yeah, I mean, I like programming too, but I don't know. Like I said, I do it all day for work. And then when I come home, I just want to turn my brain off and not think about it anymore. My boss, man, he's crazy about programming. He programs all day long. And it's good, but... Some espresso. Espresso and cream. It's from this morning, though. I put it in the thermos, but I don't know. It'd be nicer if it was fresh. Okay, let's prep our workstation. So one of the things I'm going to show you real quick, let's do this. I'm just going to show what I did. I actually got a mount. I got an arm mount for my monitor, which has one of my cameras on it. That's my face camera there. So I got that all mounted, which was super nice. But the problem is it blocks my paper towels. So now I've got to find a better place to do my paper towel stuff. Yeah, so now so this paper towel roll thing just kind of, the monitor is now in the way. Emilio, what with that translation, that transition? What transition are you talking about? LTT is Linus Tech Tips. And some people really like Linus Tech Tips, man. I don't know. I don't. I find them kind of annoying. That's just me, though. But yeah, I don't know. I haven't decided on a provider yet. WordPress just kind of a lot of my friends use it. Okay, so we normally do, we get a bunch of paper towels already set up, just like so. Then we're going to use some disposable gloves. I ran out of the other ones that I normally use, so we're going to use nitrile gloves now. And these are like laboratory gloves, medical grade. Let's get a couple of those pairs out. The other gloves I was using were nice, but they were very hard to like get on and off. So these ones I think might be a little bit better. Okay, so we got that set up, and then I like to put down like a piece of scrap paper or something. This one actually has an old drawing on it, a little doodle that I did. So I like to put a piece of scrap paper down to catch any drippings and stuff that come out. And then we got our silicone. Remember guys, we're using Mold Star 30 Platinum Cure Silicone. Super good stuff. I really, really like it. Yeah, the ones I have baby powder in them, actually. But the problem was that they weren't nitrile, actually, they were vinyl. And so they don't have, so they were pre-powdered, same as these ones. But the vinyl was very thick, and so it would just like grip really hard on my fingers. And Wolves on Wall Street, yes, I actually used to work in a tattoo studio as well. I wasn't doing tattoos, but I did all the prep work on their stations. I would clean everything, and I was going to be a apprentice, but I joined the Navy instead. So there you go, a little history about me. Okay, so one of the great things about this particular silicone that I use is that this silicone, one of the things I like about it is that this silicone is mixed by volume instead of by weight, which is really good for when you have a small setup like mine, because I don't have a giant scale and I'm not doing tons of stuff, so I don't really need to worry about it. But since we're doing it equal parts by volume, all we need is just a little bit of it. So we're going to take it to the bottom of this, we're going to take it to the 1 line right down here, because we're only doing one little part of it, so we only need that. The other thing that we're going to use, we have to use, not we're going to, absolutely must use, is we need to use this. This is a release agent that needs to be sprayed on the silicone in order to make it so that the second part of the silicone doesn't stick to it, because it will immediately grip it, and then you're basically SOL. So we're going to mix that next too. Tofum, am I against stick and pokes? No. They have their own place, I guess. I personally would never get a stick and poke. I get professional tattoos. All my tattoos have been done by a professional artist. And to go further than that, 90% of my tattoos were actually done by artists who have a master's in art. They're actually trained traditional artists, which is pretty cool. They just kind of understand the art world a little more. But I've got a lot of tattoos. All right, before I get distracted more, we need to spray this mold with mold release. And actually, it looks like I didn't tighten this down enough. So let's fix that. This mold is a little bit loose on one side, and that means that the silicone will end up getting down into the other parts of this, and it will cause a lot of problems when we go to release it. So we need to tighten that up. What up, Disco? Okay, what? Yeah, some people, so Tofu Mom is saying that there are a lot of artists who really hate stick and poke, and I think it's just because it's unprofessional. So it's not that, like, personally I don't have anything against them, because I have a lot of, like, I mean, all my friends are in the punk scene, and so they all have stick and poke. It's just kind of the style. But for me personally, just not into it. Oh, I guess you should say, is it punk stick and poke, or is it stick and poke like traditional, ancient Hawaiian slash, you know, Pacific Islands stick and poke? Because that's a big difference. Traditional, like Japanese slash Pacific Islands stick and poke is really cool. I think that's a really cool thing. They can turn out amazing. I've seen stick and poke art done through that way that looks just as good as like a tattoo I've gotten. And like they look fantastic, but it's extremely long. It's a very long process. It's very bloody, and tends to be much more painful. And I have a really high pain tolerance. Pain doesn't bother me at all. But that kind of pain over the course of like maybe 4 to 6 hours, just not my thing. And also, I mean, I do long marathon tattoo sessions. Like most of my tattoo sessions are at least 4 hours long, 4 to 6 hours. And that's enough. By the end of that 6th hour, I mean, I'm toast. It just drains you. Makes you super tired. Okay, so again, we need to put release agent on here. So all I did is I took that man release agent stuff and I put it in a spray bottle that I just bought at the store. Just a metal spray bottle. And you want to get a good spraying in there. Now the reason why I don't do this on the top side of the caps is because the release agent actually leaves a film on the keycap, and the silicone will pick that up, and it looks really terrible. I did it one time, never going to do it again. Bottom side's fine, no one really ever looks at it, so you're not really going to see it. But anyway, so you just take this, you're going to spray it. You want to make sure you get into these nooks and crannies. You want to make sure it gets into the, you want to get it in here. You're going to want to make sure that you get the sides, right? So I'm just going to go down here, under the table here, into the trash can and spray that in here so I don't get it all over the desk or on my computer. Keyboards are more important. All right. You don't need much, just a little spray. Isn't the release already in a spray can? Disco Frog, yes, it is actually in a spray can. You can get it in a pressurized spray can, but you have to get it shipped, right? Because there's no stores nearby me that sell any of these materials. So I would actually have to order from Amazon, and in the U.S., and I'm sure it's this way everywhere, but mailing of pressurized materials requires a very specific method. And so what was I going to say? So yeah, it ends up taking like 3 weeks, I think, for Amazon to ship it. Yeah, what are you doing, Mange? What are you doing? So yeah, that's why I don't have it in the can. I have it in this spray bottle because of the fact that I didn't want to wait 3 weeks for it. And it's super expensive for the spray can. Like, so this was 20 bucks. If I get it in the spray can, just like the pre-pressurized spray can, it costs like $23. This has the same amount of material that's in 7 or 8 of those cans. for the same price. And then this was like $1. So Band-Aid mod tutorial. Oh yeah, that's just putting the Band-Aids under that's just putting the Band-Aids under the stabilizers, right? Yeah, how to tune your stabs. Auto-tune your stabs. Okay, so let's start this. Again, we're only gonna fill it to the one line, because like on a lot of these are paint mixing, and they have a 1-to-1 ratio marker on this side here. Actually, we don't even need to use this big guy because we're not using very much. We can use one of these ones. Man, that sneeze. Woo! Okay, so on this one, same thing. It's got a 1-to-1 mixing ratio on the far left side. So we're gonna use, I think we'll take this one to, I'll take it to the 2 mark. So all you do is just, oh wait, this is the thicker one. You wanna pour the thicker into the thinner. Thank you, Disco. So this is the blue side on this particular one is the thinner one. So you want to pour that into there. And we're going to take it to the 2 mark. And I know I've said it a million times, but I'm going to say it again. But guys, this silicone is freaking fantastic. It's so much smoother. It's so much nicer to deal with. It's way easier to use. And the product comes out excellent. I'm really happy with it. But yeah, this is... It is still messy though. Alright, so we went a little bit over the 2 mark. That's okay. Now I pour in. See, the reason why you want to use the blue side first is the blue side is less viscous. So when you go to mix this part, this is side B, I think. When you go to mix that into it, you want to use the thinner stuff. Should be first. SportsX Prodigy, can I have a taste? Hey man, thanks for joining me. You're actually the first person to comment on Mixer. So, hey guys, it's official. I got a Mixer viewer on stream, and he actually said something. So, Sports Prodigy says, can I have a taste? It looks like it would taste delicious. It's like, it looks like blue molasses. I would imagine it would taste like maybe like raspberries, like raspberry candy. But anyway, thanks for thanks for showing. Oh, Skater Whiz, I didn't even see you here. So the chat has been going by pretty quickly, but welcome to the stream. Thanks for watching. Glad I got some people to come on from a different source. I usually do everything on YouTube. Everybody's always on YouTube. We're mixing the thicker into the thinner. It's way easier to mix that way. It's going... We actually may have more silicone than we really need, but this particular silicone, again, this is MoldStar 30. The pot life on this is 45 minutes, which is cool because that means that we can do another mold, I think, if we're very quick about it. And I might make a mold of a D20 die. So we can do that really quick. Yeah, it looks like sour cream. It's actually a little bit less than that. Notice me, senpai. Sports Prodigy says, notice me, senpai. I'm noticing you. I'm noticing you. Wayne Candy, welcome. I'm chill. Yeah, I like to be chill. I am just in general a chill person in real life. Alright, so we've got that all mixed, or we got that combined there. Now we're just going to mix it, and you just kind of stir it up. And then you want to scrape the sides of your container because it will stick to the sides very well. Mange says, Atari is the best senpai. Well, thank you, my friend. I'd say that Pete is probably the best senpai. I don't know. Oh yeah, that's mixing up pretty well. Okay, so the next thing we do, after we get this mixed up, is we have to degas it. So we're going to stick it in our vacuum chamber. And we will degas this. As you can see, it's pretty bubbly. We want to get all of those chemical reaction bubbles out of it. So we are going to degas. That takes about 3 minutes. So just mixing that up. You want to make sure it's very well mixed. The other thing is about when you're doing vacuum degassing of any of these materials, especially silicone, is you want to make sure that the container you're mixing in, that you're going to put into the vacuum chamber, you want to make sure that it has twice the amount of room, at least twice the amount of room, because what's going to happen is that stuff is going to like bubble up in there like crazy. Weegie, who's Weegie? The stream, the text, the chat is going by too quickly. I didn't get to catch who it is, but whoever it is, welcome to the stream. Thank you for watching. Okay, so let's go ahead and put this in the vacuum chamber. And actually, I'm going to try to position the camera so we can actually show you what it looks like. Don't mind my very... Alright, so there's our pressure chamber, or our vacuum chamber here. Okay. This goes in here. We're going to close off the valve there. We're going to make sure it's plugged in, which I totally forgot to do. And now we just wait for it to Jesper Lindquist. Well, welcome. I have never seen you on stream before. So Wayne Candy asks, is that a miniature gas chamber? No, it's not a gas chamber. It's actually a vacuum chamber. So what it's doing is it's pulling all of the air out of this chamber in here. We are going to get it to, I believe, negative 14 atmospheres. Or negative 14 psi, I'm not really sure. Yeah, negative 14 psi. Alright. So the material has already breached and started degassing pretty well. Okay. So now we've got that where it needs to be. It's just going to sit there for about... It just needs to sit there at that pressure, or that negative pressure, for about 3 to 5 minutes. And we'll come back to that. So next thing I want to do is I wanted to make a mold of a D20. So Let me find it's gonna make it out of cardboard, but maybe find something else. Thought I had my cardboard sheet, but it looks like I threw it away. Oh well. Okay, well, I still want to mold one of these, and we're gonna have plenty of silicone left over for this, so it would be nice. It is slowly debubbling here. If I can get my camera to stretch a little further, I'd show you what it looks like when it's debubbling, when it's degassing. It's just kind of like very mold the cherry key as well. Well, we have limited time, and I don't have a ton of it, but I mean, I will take that under advisement. Tell you what, we'll make a very quick one out of some excess cardboard I have in one of these boxes. We don't need much. We just need about that much cardboard. And where's my cutting slab? Well, let's use this one. I'm gonna mold this D20. Sorry, Mange. That's what I want to do. So we only need about... I mean a couple inches. I'm an old D&D nerd, so I wanted to mold a D20 so that I can have my own dice, my own patterns and stuff that I want it to be. I want it to look cool. We don't need a ton. Okay. Almost done. I'll mold this guy real quick. More of the red color. I probably will make red ones eventually, but I'm not going to be making any keycaps. I'm not going to be casting any keycaps today, mainly because the molds that I had previously with the old silicone are just falling apart. I can't even use them anymore. They leave too much residue and stuff inside the resin, and it's just, yeah, they're not worth the time anymore. But I will make some multiple colors very soon as those molds are done, which should be soon. A couple of days. Wait for the resin, wait for the silicone to cure. All right, the silicone's just about ready. We're gonna de-vacuumize, I guess. I normally use packing tape, but I think I'm gonna try using. Use this time. Just regular masking tape. I do need to take these gloves off though. Okay, so Okay. Just kind of do what I normally do with these. Just gonna make that mold box, and then I gotta decide how I want to. I might just use. I'm just gonna use hot glue. I think I'm just gonna use hot glue for this. Yeah, so if I just put some hot glue in there to get that D20 stuck down, I think that should be enough. So what's cool about these, this silicone is that it's really strong, so I can actually use that to my advantage. Don't have to like do what I normally do with them, which there's no square sides in a D20, so it's very difficult to use my usual methods. This will work. Oh, the new G20 profile. Actually, I do have some G20 profile, but I don't use it. It's too flat. It's a little hard to type on, I think. I think it's a little hard to type on. Some people freaking love it, though. There's a guy who posted his Ergo Docs that had G20 profile on it, and he was like all about it. Okay, man, that's cool. If you can type on it, more power to you. But he was also using an Ergo Docs, so he was already have a interesting typing style. I can't use an Ergo Docs. I tried using an Ergo keyboard, even that split keyboard that I have, and I just did not enjoy it. But to each their own, man. That's what's great about this hobby. Not everybody has to use the same stuff. Yeah, Dr. Doom Apple will totally make a red one. Obviously, they won't be, the numbers won't be painted on it, but yeah, we can do that. Okay. Yeah, there's like everybody has different things they like about this keyboard, or you know, about the community, like different profiles, different keyboard types. And, you know, like some people love Topre, some people don't like Topre or Topra. You know, some people are really weird and like ISO enter, those weirdos, the ISO enter thing. They're like all about that ISO, and I'm like, man, you crazy. Not naming names. Okay, we need hot glue. We're doing this very quickly because we have very little time. Some people like MX Browns. I mean, what? Why? Why do you want to torture yourself? Okay. Silicone, pulling that out. There it is. Okay. Alright, so while that's doing its thing, I'm going to show you how to pour the silicone in. Kind of move some stuff around here. Alright, so like I said, we need to make sure that the silicone gets into all these nooks and crannies and stuff, and that's why I have this little shaved down, it's very, very thin little wooden stick that gets into the, it gets down into these spaces here. See? We're going to use that. And the sprues are going to help guide us to know where it is. 'Cause once we pour the silicone in, you're not going to be able to see it. But the sprues will help us. It'll let us know where it is. So when you're doing silicone, you want to pour into one corner and let it kind of flow around into the spots. So we're going to do that. Just going to do a little bit. And you don't need to have a very fast stream. Just a little bit. It'll find its way. You just kind of slowly pour that. And here, I'll just bring the camera in so a little bit so you can see what I'm talking about. You see? Just slowly makes its way. Doesn't need to be fast. And the other thing is that when you do this kind of slow pour, this is actually kind of fast as a pour, but when you do a slow pour, it actually prevents a lot of air bubbles. So it's useful. GMK terminal delayed until April 14th. What? I didn't get in on that. I think it looks cool, but I didn't end up buying it. I wasn't into it at the time. I wasn't really into the hobby. We actually might not have enough silicone for that D20. I think I measured it perfectly. Oh, would you look at that? We're not going to have any excess. Oh well. We'll do the D20 another time. Or I can just make some more. Either way. Okay, so here's what I was talking about. We're going to use the sprues, these 4 little sprue guides, to show us where that where the stem is. So the stem is going to be in the very center of all 4. So you just get down in there, and there we go. And you just kind of like trying to work out the air bubbles, and you can hear the air bubbles popping when you're doing this. And that means that they are working their way out. And just go to the next one. And you want to make sure you do both ends. And you can kind of see, there's a bubble. See that bubble right there? You can kind of see it. That's from the air that was trapped in the stem. And we're working that out using this tool. Almost there. Yeah, we don't have enough silicone to do the D20. I think I'm just going to do the D20 another time. Okay. There we go. It's all... Got all the air worked out of those, I think. And then you put it under pressure, it's also going to cavitate those air bubbles inside there. Clean this thing off, because we can definitely reuse it. And then this goes into the pressure chamber. Yeah, there's not very much in here. Definitely not enough to do this. Well, we could mix some more very quickly, and then I could do that. So here's the D20 I was doing, but then I also have this one. So I was thinking that one would be fun. I mean, look at how gigantic that is compared to this one. I think I might anyway. I think I'm just gonna mix some more. Yeah, we got time. We got time to mix more, so we're gonna do it. Get my other glove on. Oh, actually, before we do that, let's get this guy glued down first. Alright, so that's glued down in there now. And we'll just do this very fast. We don't need very much. We'll take this to the 1 mark. And even that might be a little bit much. We'll take it to the 1 ounce mark because we can mix it with the stuff we already made. Just 1 ounce, it's all we need. All right. Perfect. 1 ounce. You guys going crazy talking about switch weights again. Yeah, I got actually a bunch more switches coming in soon. I'm pretty excited for them. All right, again, this is a 1-to-1 ratio, so we did the 1 ounce. We're gonna take that up to the 2 ounce line now. This is a little bit harder to eyeball just because it's thicker. It tends to fill faster than the blue stuff does. So you really gotta be precise about it. Okay, here we go. Yeah, Sapsor, well, I'm actually making a couple things, but I decided to do a D20 die today, just as a fun little project. I'm actually molding, doing the second half of my molding for keycaps, but I have some silicone. I want to make my own dice. So I figured I'll do a D20. A giant D20. Not just any old D20. And thanks for stopping by, Sapsaro. Stick around if you want. Always glad to have new people on stream. Yeah, just mixing it. Get a good mix in there. Okay, it's all mixed up. Just gonna put that right there. Vacuum chamber this guy. And then we'll put it in the pressure pot and we are done. Yeah, Sapsaro, the beginning, the molds look fantastic. So they just need to sit for about 3 days or so. So I think I'm gonna do, I'll probably do a stream midweek, maybe on Wednesday night, Pacific time. And so that Wednesday night stream will be actually casting the resin in them, and then I'll pull them out on Thursday. Getting degassing here is going pretty good. Almost done with it. It's just about to collapse. And here goes the collapse. Nice. Okay, let that sit. And while it's doing that, check to make sure this is still doing all right. Yeah, it's still good. Okay, we don't need this hot glue anymore. Unplug that. Okay, well, just gotta wait for this to finish its final debubbling. It's almost there. Alright, it is good. Pull that, mix it with this other stuff, and then we'll put it in the pressure pot and we will be done for the day. Oh no! It unglued itself. Shoot. Well, good thing that the hot glue gun was already ready to go. Plug that back in. What the hell? Hopefully that sticks better. Alright, that's good. Now let's mix these two together. Alright. Okay. And here we go. Same as before. Just find a corner and pour it in slow. It's almost done. We're just barely gonna have enough resin, or silicone actually. But that is okay. We got most of it. Just gotta scrape it out of there, and I think that will be enough. Get in here. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if this was enough resin, guys, or enough silicone. It's just barely covering it. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna work. But, oh well. Now we know it needs quite a bit of silicone to cover that giant D20. Okay, well, let's get some cleanup going. Get this put into the pressure pot and then we'll start cleaning. Alright, I'm going to mute the mic, so turn on the compressor. Alright. Alright, gonna mute the mic here while I run the compressor. Okay, there we go. Whew. That is quite a mess. But that's okay. Again, one of the wonderful things about silicone is it's extremely easy to clean up. Because the silicone containers you don't really need to mess with. You can peel the silicone right out of them later. But everything else, definitely need to mess with. Alright. So this can go just down here. Ooh, got some silicone on that D20. Mange doesn't sleep, powder boarder. You should know that by now. Mange never goes to sleep. Wish I had a keyboard to mess with today, like solder today, but I'm gonna get myself some kits. I should have some OLKB kits coming in soon. Powder boarder, you say it's 5 p.m.? Oh wait, so you're probably on the East Coast then, I'm guessing? I'm in the West Coast, so it is only 2 o'clock for me. We've only been streaming for 2 hours, but it's been 2 hours of fun. Cool. Well, I think we are all done with what I had planned for the day. Is there anything else you guys want me to do or go over? Or I don't have anything else planned for today besides doing this. I'm probably gonna stream some video game playing, maybe later on today. I haven't decided yet. What else do you guys want to do? Anything? What will I play? I haven't decided what I want to play yet today. Probably going to play... I've been playing Warframe again. So I'm probably going to play some Warframe. I love Warframe. Emilio says check the Discord after the stream. What if I check it now? Oh. Send me some Topra caps, huh? Well, like I said, I just have to get those. If I had them, I could make a couple. Just don't have any. So, obviously their stem is a bit different, so I don't even use them. I wouldn't be able to test to see if they fit correctly. Green Arrow on Mixer. Hey, man. How's it going? Or, hey, dude. Guy, girl, doesn't matter. Dude to me is gender neutral. I'm gonna drink some coffee though right now. But yeah, we're pretty much done for the day. I'm really eager. I'm really eager for this to for these to set up here. So yeah, about 2 to 3 days, and I should be able to finish the mold on these. But yeah, they fit together very well. Green Arrow asks on Mixer, am I good? Good at what? I'd say I'm pretty good at a few things. I don't know if I'm good on video games. Yeah, so there's that. Yeah, these turned out really great. So I'll be able to make, let's see, 10 keycaps off of this one, plus a 2-unit spacebar. So that means, you know, every couple days or so, because it's pretty easy to do the resin casting part of it. But yeah, so every couple of days I can do 14 keycaps plus the 4 that are already in there, that are in there today. So 18 keycaps every day or so. Hungerworks Studio. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, I've seen his, you know, setup before. Yeah, you can see how messy the whole process is, just extremely messy. Interesting how he just like stacks them, all that excess resin all over the place. I guess maybe I'm just a little cleaner than that, I don't know. His pressure pot's much larger. Yeah, Binge is pretty cool. He seems to be a pretty cool guy. He's very confident, I think, which is good. I mean, obviously he's extremely successful, so. But yeah, it's interesting to see other people work. He obviously has a different table and stuff. The reason why I'm doing mine the way I do mine is because I use this for art, you know, painting and drawing and stuff as well. And so I don't want my desk to get like super messy, because then I can't do any painting and drawing on it. It's just a little bit of resin gets on something and just stuff does not come off. Atari is our boy. I'm behind. Yeah, I am behind Binge by quite a bit. Binge has got a lot more experience. He also sculpts. I don't sculpt, but I don't sculpt yet. However, I do have Sculpey, so I can start doing sculpts eventually. I've never used this stuff before, so I'm a little curious to how the whole thing works out, but yeah. So I should be able to do sculpts here at some point. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet, though. I was thinking about making a 1-up keycap. But yeah, anyway, we'll see. Okay, well, I think it's about time for me to get some lunch, and then I will probably pop on again for games later. Yeah, I'd say Binge is definitely better than me. He's way more experienced. He's been doing this for a couple of years. I've only been doing this for a couple of months. So, but Binge better watch out. I actually met him in Seattle. I'll probably end up running into him again in the next Seattle talk stuff. But yeah, he and I talked about the possibility if I start getting a little bit better at my process that, you know, he might do some offloading of stuff. But I don't know if he's still interested in that or not. It's been a year since I talked to him. But we were talking about he would basically send me a few of his molds, and then I would make some of his keycaps as like a side assistance, so he doesn't have to do it all at his own studio. He'd have me do some of them too, which I thought was pretty cool, you know, like to at least get the experience, you know. I think it'd be cool. All right, well, guys, again, I want to thank you guys for showing up at my stream. It's been a really great time, again, as usual. Always great to see everybody on stream interacting and talking to each other. For those of you who have the Discord server or on the Discord server, you know, obviously chat will continue over there. I'll be trying to do another giveaway here in a couple of weeks. It might be a month or so. It might be 2 months. I don't really know. I'm trying to get the pieces of the giveaway put together to figure out how I want to do it. But, yeah, so keep being cool, keep talking to each other and stuff. And check back on my stream. And probably Wednesday. On Wednesday, I'm going to do another stream. It'll be about 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. I'll be doing a stream. And that's going to be pulling these, or going to pull the molds out tomorrow. But then I'm going to actually cast the resin on Wednesday. And then I'll do another stream the weekend after that. Now, there's a special surprise happening on the 14th. So I might not be streaming on the 14th, but I think you guys will all be really happy with what the surprise is. I can't say it's a surprise, but it's going to be really cool, and I'm really excited for it. So again, tune in on Wednesday. If I'm not going to stream on Wednesday, then I will send out a message to my followers and stuff to let everybody know what's going on. But have a fantastic day, and I will catch you later.